Good evening. There are calls tonight for tighter regulations on the way recycling firms store their waste after yet another fire at a recycling plant.
Around 70 firefighters tackled the blaze at a factory in Barr this morning, which involved hundreds of tons of paper. A senior fire officer said the laws on how waste is stored were written in the 1980s and are out of date. It comes just after a month after the biggest ever fire in the West Midlands, when a Chinese lantern landed on a recycling depot in Smethwick. Mark Goff reports.
The second time in just over a month, and once again fire crews have been tackling another blaze at a waste recycling plant. This was in Barr in Birmingham this morning. 15 fire engines needed after tons of waste paper and plastic went up in flames. A month ago at a waste plant in Smethwick, they tackled one of the biggest blazes in the history of West Midlands Fire Service. A senior fire officer now wants a change in the law.
The answer is about better control of the materials. Now, at both the sites that we're talking about, the owners of those sites fully complied with the current guidance and legislation, and they were well-managed sites. But the legislation and guidance we're talking about is based around the West Midlands County Council Act from 1980. Now, when the West Midlands County Council Act was written in 1980 to provide the guidance on how this material should be stored, it didn't take into any account in 1980 of the modern recycling business. The guidance for stacks guidance for this type of material, which refers to outdoor sites, is to have 6 metres between stacks. Well, tyre guidance talks about 10 to 15 metres between stacks. So we've got two sets of guidance, very different standards, but similar material. And what we would like to see is some action by the government to review the guidance that's available for recycling materials and recycling sites and produce some up-to-date guidance based on risk that works for both the industry and for the fire service. What we are seeing is that recycling has become big business, and there are many recycling plants springing up all around the country and certainly in our cities. And these recycling plants, the type of material they're working with tends to be plastic, paper, the materials that you and I throw in the recycling bins for the local authorities to collect each week. Now, that material is a very high fire loading, it's a very flammable material, it burns very quickly, and when it's dry and we've got a windy environment, when it ignites, if it ignites, then it does cause very serious fires.
The company in today's fire didn't want to comment, but with blazes like this costing tens of thousands of pounds to put out and causing millions of pounds of damage, pressure to look at how they can be prevented will grow. Mark Goff, ITV News, Birmingham.
A witness in the trial of a staff